Hello, check. 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 Hello, check.
Sorry, यार आगे नीचे जा. कैसे रहते?
Check. Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello, check.
No, thank you. Just amaze me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you today to an event which brings together two major, almost consuming passions of every Kolkatan, namely cinema and literature. Oxford Bookstore, Kolkata is delighted to partner Alchemy Publishers to release this evening their new title, The Director's Mind by Ujjal Chakraborty, the definitive book on filmmaking which marries these two creative arts. True to its title, The Director's Mind delves into the genius behind great works of cinema and literature, is breathtakingly illustrated with stills from the works of cinematic legends while exploring their methods and thought processes. In short, an important handbook essential for every aspiring young filmmaker, many of whom are present in the audience today. Friends, it is always a singular pleasure and a great privilege for all of us to welcome Shri Gopalkrishna Gandhi, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, to our bookstore, not only as a chief guest, but as a man of letters who invariably offers valuable new insights into the work being discussed, be it that of Ramchandra Guha, Amitabh Ghosh, more recently Nobel laureate Nadine Gordimer, and many others. Sir, we are truly honored to have you and Srimati Tara Gandhi with us. And though this is a very early hour and I know you have to go elsewhere, we really appreciate your presence here today. We are expecting eminent author Nabanita Deb Sen, and we have with us distinguished filmmaker Goutam Ghose. Goutam, we greatly value and cherish your support to Oxford Bookstore events over the years. Recently, I had the very, it was a task that was Herculean because I was compiling 10 years of events at Oxford Bookstore, and it was amazing that the amount of support this bookstore receives from the people of Calcutta. It's very humbling, and we have. It will take a long time to gather all those views, but Gautam has been a big part of that journey. Thank you. And the audience looks forward keenly to sharing your opinions and views on the subject of cinema this evening. Lastly, I would like to introduce and to congratulate the author Ujjal Chakraborty on his seminal work. Mr. Chakraborty learned the art of filmmaking by closely observing Satyajit Ray at work and by watching classic movies on the wide screen. He is a member of the faculty of Indo-Italian Institute of Films and Social Communication, Roop Kala Kendra, Kolkata. Our congratulations also to Mr. C.K. Mehra and Mr. S.K. Mehra of Alchemy Publishers for their outstanding new publication. I think in 2 years you have published 50 titles. That is a record of sorts. Congratulations, and with these few words I close. May I request you to kindly keep your cell phones on silent mode for the duration of the evening. Thank you. And may I now request Ujjal Chakraborty to present the book to the governor for release. Sir, will you please come? Please also come. No, you all stand. Please release the book. Just tear it apart.
Camera, shoot for
Thank you. Yeah. That's all. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request
all those gathered here, and on behalf of the prospective readership of this book, I'd like to congratulate Ujjal Chakraborty and join everyone in complimenting you on the sensitive research that has gone into the making of the director's mind. It is a felicity that Shri Goutam Ghose is with us today. When you get to seeing the book, you will find there are two reproductions of notes written by Satyajit Ray, and they have been very bravely published and included in the volume. The second one of which says, "To whom it may concern," and then one or two lines, and it says, "Chakraborty seems to me to be a serious student of cinema." Satyajit Ray has said it, but he's also shown a certain caution, a certain conservatism, because he knows that Ujjal Chakraborty is a serious student of cinema. What he's going to do with his serious study of cinema, Satyajit Ray does not know and does not want to predict. He's also insuring himself against a possible deviation from Satyajit Ray's own way of thinking about cinema by the author. good to see Nemai Ghosh in the audience here, who has been so handsomely acknowledged by you in the book. So this book is a treat, to put it briefly. And it appeals to one just as Shraddha cinema appeals to one. I do not know enough about Kurosawa and Chaplin and Godard, so I will not comment on that aspect of the book. All of us have our favorite Satyajit Ray stills in our mind, the favorite frames in our mind. And they probably have something to do with what we are about. But I think there's one which has probably been responded to by all of us in one degree or the other. And that is the scene in Pother Panchali when the family is leaving the village, leaving the house, and it is being reduced, if it can be reduced, to a nullity. And little Opu discovers in the little bowl which Durga has secreted on the top of the shelf what she is supposed not to have been in possession of. So this is an extraordinary secret between brother and sister. And it remains a secret with the great aid of a moss-covered water body. And as he flings it into the water body, and the moss covers it again, there is an extraordinary reverberation in the minds of the beholder. For who amongst us has not done something in the purity of access, which social mores do not quite approve, and which one would not like to see concealed by the algae of time. I believe even Satyajit Ray himself may not be exempt from this. And I think this book, without disturbing the individual particles of the moss, just skims it a little, enables you to go below the film of green into the stillness of the water, down to the bed of the water body, to see what those beads may have to say. I congratulate you on your research and equally on the quality of your writing and the integrity of your acknowledgements, particularly the explanation of the photography, the uses and the non-resorting to the excessive use of photographic illustrations, suggesting almost a certain code in the employment of illustrations. And again, I'm so glad Nemai Babu is here, because photographs, especially when borrowed to illustrate a text, can go just one step into the trespass of the photographer's original intent and the dharma of a book. This has been very ably and deftly done by you. Finally, I would like to say that the director's mind makes a very important point, that a director must really enjoy the exercise as much as she or he. And I noticed that Ujjal Babu has said she rather than he. Though the book is about male directors, all of them, what a director may do in terms of intellectual, artistic, aesthetic, technical labor, the heart of it, there has to be a certain enjoyment of the processes of directing. I think that is true of all creative work. And unless there is that, there cannot be what can be called a repleteness to a work of art. Repleteness is a completeness just short of satiety. So there has to be a little deficit between completeness and satiety for it to be truly fulfilling to the creator and the participant who is the viewer. So thank you and congratulations.
May I now request the author to introduce his book, the theme of this exhibition, and the special guests. And before I go further, may I request Mr. Shri Nemai Ghosh to please come up here and join us on the dais. It will be a great honor. Please do.
What form would a book on filmmaking have taken had it been written by a bird watcher or an ornithologist? Few people, one can be sure, can think of it. Are the methods of watching birds the same as watching cinema, really? Can they ever be? Watching from distance, the two appear different and the similarity incongruous. But in my life, the two methods converged, unknowingly at first and consciously later. In my teens, I started watching films like a young ornithologist. At this point, one must remember the methods of watching birds. A bird has to be observed in its natural habitat. B, the same bird has to be observed as many times as possible. I started watching films following those couple of simple rules. A, watching cinema in their natural habitat, that is, in the movie theaters. And 2, watching the same set of films as many times as possible. Over the years, I could somehow gradually learn to observe the special signs that can transform a film from indifferent to good, and from good to great, and also, hopefully, from great to timeless. Like an ornithologist, I started writing down the points in small field notes. I still feel nostalgic when I remember that between the monsoon and the winter of 1973, I watched Satyajit Ray's Distant Thunder, Ashwini Sanket, nearly 100 times in commercial movie theaters. And it's true, I am not dramatizing the point. As I went on watching the same set of films over and over again, the art of cinema opened its heart to me. The art of unfolding a theme, the art of analyzing a human mind, and finally, even the mysterious art of creating deep emotions that can penetrate the heart of the spectator. The films were seen with a childlike curiosity. Therefore, the observations were simple and direct, and as a result, my field notes were nearly devoid of jargons and of technical terms. My ultimate wish was to touch the director's heart, which is often shrouded during shooting. The book is a collection of my field notes taken between 1969 and 1990 from Ray's The Adventures of Guppy and Bagha to Kurosawa's Kagemusha and Madadayo. The very quest of understanding the language of film in Bengal started in 1934 with the book by Nabanita Deb on making films. After that, great minds like Satyajit Ray, Chidananda Dasgupta, Mrinal Sen, Ritik Ghatak and Purnendu Potri joined hands in the quest. With the great background of such thinkers working in the field, one can logically hope that the quest will flow eternally. The daughter of one pioneer, Nabanita Deb, now will speak about the writings of her father, Narendra Deb. And again, I have to say something about the exhibition. To give a taste of the long and unending route, we are showcasing here today a number of books, that is, the milestones seen in the winding road. Being able to see the forgotten book covers is a rare dream